All right, come on, we got 5 minutes. Hey, we are live. I guess assets and arbitrage, episode 178, I believe. I could be off. You could double check that on me. Uh, my beautiful wife, Erin. Erin,
It's 178.
178. Okay.
I don't have anything.
Okay, well, I want to give a salute out to our soldiers. We got a busy day, man. A lot of stuff has happened over the weekend and Monday morning. It has been very busy. Things going fast and furious, price movement. You're seeing the volatility, fast and furious, volatility to the wrong side for us. But it's all good, man. We've been here. We've seen this. The OGs are going to tell you it's an opportunity to pick up Satoshis and at a cheaper price on discount. As we are, we should be stacking our Satoshis, our ounces, and you can pick up some cheap Satoshis right now. But this is a good time. We want to wait till some people get in the room, and then we'll really get into some of the technicals and maybe some of the macro outlook of this, so that we can see, what some of our analysts say about this, and some things we can be looking forward to, some things we can look to um, as as an indicator, because there's some deep indicators in here and some what you would call some technical analysis. This is outside of charting. This is some things where you just have to kind of see where the money's moving. See where the money's moving, see some percentages, see some all-time highs, some all-time lows, and things like that, and you could just see what we actually have going on. So kind of let a couple people get in the room, don't you think? How many do you think? What's your call?
I don't know.
This guy about five right now, 4 or 5.
I don't know. People, we haven't been on for a while. So
You don't
I
know
would just get started.
at 5 already?
I don't know how many people. We don't have Twitter anymore.
Oh yeah, our
That's where
Twitter.
everybody used to come from.
Our Twitter's down. Is our Facebook up?
Yes.
Oh,
But
okay.
nobody watches on Facebook.
Okay. All right. Well, just for the few people who pop in on Facebook.
That's not Facebook. That's probably YouTube.
No, I see the people who pop in when I go through the feed.
It's probably all YouTube. It's not Facebook.
No, they leave comments and likes, so I can tell that they
But
see
they're
it.
not watching the video.
Oh, it's fine as long as you come through and see us. Say hello. We understand this is boring material, and you might not sit around for an hour and a half listening to it. So, um, So we'll talk about some pressure and some things that are connected. You got strong price pressure on gold, silver amid a panicky marketplace. I'm not sharing the screen. I'm not sharing the article either. I'm sorry about that. We just had some technical difficulties where I'm not able to do that. But it is an article you can follow if you would like to on kitco.com, which is a very reputable source, kitco.com. We actually use that source a lot. So strong price pressure on gold and silver among panicky marketplace, right? So you got a lot of people here. Uh, Kitco News. Gold and silver prices are sharply lower in the U.S. trading Monday. Gold hit a 2-week low and silver a 3-month low. A meltdown in global stock markets has the general marketplace spooked to start the trading week. The raw commodity futures sector is seeing solid selling pressure led by crude oil amid economic recession fears. Uh, the metal's bearish element at present is superseding only safe haven. So any safe haven, demand for gold and silver. So that's important. That's important what they said right there. What they said is that the bearish outlook on the element at the present time supersedes its ability to be a safe haven asset. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a lot of selling out of the safe haven asset because of this bearish outlook. What do people do if they leave a safe haven asset? uh, they go to dollars. And they also go, which you will see later on in this article, they go to uh, the treasury market. So let's see. So you're seeing selling pressure led by crude oil. Among this, the metals bearish element at present supersedes any safe haven demand for gold and silver. So that's what we just talked about, safe haven demand. And because we always call gold and silver a safe haven. Hello, family. What's up? What's up? We always call it a safe haven. So you're seeing it not be a safe haven when it's supposed to be a safe haven. However, this mentality could quickly change into keeping the safe haven demand for two precious metals amid the high anxiety in the marketplace. December gold. So in December, gold was down $60.70 at $2,409. And in September, silver was down $1.73 at $26.65. So that's what you have there. You have leaving of the safe haven uh, and people kind of sitting in dollars, which is interesting because the dollar had a lot of problems last evening into this Monday morning trading session. And we will get into that. I just wanted to add that you had anything to put into that? Huh? Okay. And so give me one moment. I'm gonna change the heating. Just give me one moment, family. Sorry, family. It's a little bit getting a little bit warm over here. Then we're going to talk about some of the European and Asian markets because all these. When you have a macro outlook, all these markets play a part. So, when you start seeing global volatility, you want to be in keeping your eye on all these markets. So we have global volatility. Let's talk about the Asian European stock indexes were sharply lower overnight. And so you hear that, boom, overnight. You see these indices trade overnight. So that's one of the things when you are using macro that you almost got to be. I don't want to say you're up 24/7, but you got to be on top of these markets because a lot of things go on while people sleep. So these markets were sharply lower overnight, following Wall Street's steep sell-off late last week. So what happens is they had a sharp sell-off on Friday. The beginning of the Asian European market would be Sunday night to Monday. So there will be a reaction to the sharp sell-off of Friday. You could expect that. It's not like this is a surprise, more as how sharp will the sell off be, is more of what you would be trying to see. And so it was a pretty sharp sell off, as they say right here, overnight, following Wall Street's steep sell off late last week. US stock indexes are pointed toward strongly lower openings on Monday and 3-month lows when the New York day session begins. So you already see that they're going to open lower on Monday. You can see that from futures and indexes and things like that. And guys, I did this research this morning, and a lot of this is from this morning. I'm sure a lot happened during the day. So if you have any updates, please in the chat go in there and let me know of some updates that happened during the day if I am missing them. So the session opened lower today. We've seen that. We've seen that if you were keeping your eye on it. So what does this mean to us? What does this mean to us? This is volatility that you will see, but the volatility will shake out and it will sell. Just like it always does. There's always something that happens and it always shakes out. And then, what I'm saying, you get your Bitcoin going back, you get your precious metals, because if you zoom out on the charts, the chart only goes one way, it goes up. So this is something where you get new investors who might get shaken out. They get scared when you bring in new people and say you brought somebody in, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, talk to them, this and that. Price back then might have been 65,000. And then you see it, boom, go under 50. That person is not going to have a lot of confidence in the commodity Bitcoin. So you got to understand how new people get shaken out in that regard. And then you got OGs like myself and my wife, beautiful wife here, who've been in it for, and we've been through these cycles. And so we see this. It's just a little bump in the road that, keeps us to getting to our price point that we want to get to, right? Isn't that true? And what do you think about all this madness over the last two trading days, if you will, Friday and Monday?
I mean, I don't know. Is it because Iran threatened Israel?
Well, no, that's part of it. That does play a part in some of the madness and some of the fear, uncertainty and doubt that is playing out globally. But I'm just saying in general, not from a technical standpoint. What do you think about it as an investor? You're an investor in Bitcoin, precious metals. When you see stuff like this come across your computer when you're at work, what do you think? How does your mind like, ah, shit, or are you just like, this is just part of the game? So
The flow of the market.
ebb and flow of the market.
Right. When everything's all great and gravy and you're having a Bitcoin halving party, life is good, right? It wasn't around 70 back then.
Remember, yeah, I got 70, over 73. We was feeling good.
Right. And now it's the opposite.
Yeah, so
it's just the ebb and flow of the market.
it is. And, we get used to it. We get used to it. But you do have to go dig in and see what is going on and see why. See why. You do have to see why. And you can understand why. And plus, it's just good to know the global news and the market and what is going on. So there is a broker, and I'm going to read this information here, called SP Angel today, said in an email dispatch, chaos in Japan is weighing on global markets, with the liquidity crunch likely seeing traders sell assets, including gold, to cover margin calls. Mm. So you guys are familiar with margin calls, and what they do and what they are.
They may not be traders.
Okay, so if you are trading with leverage, you get a certain margin, and then if you go past that margin, you gotta close that gap with real assets. So you will get a margin call, and you have to pay up. And so what they're saying is these people are because there's a liquidity crunch, and we're going to talk about that. There's a liquidity crunch with the U.S. dollar. People may be closing margin calls with precious metals, and you say, why would you do that? Well, you gotta sell. If you're looking to sell at a loss or just down a little bit, you got to sell what makes the most sense. And so, if selling precious metals makes the most sense to close a margin, then you will go and sell precious metals to close the margin, as instead of using your fiat currency. And that's what you see. And so they said it's a liquidity crunch. There's not enough dollars coming out of Japan, and that's causing a problem as far as all these dollars needed to cover these margin calls. Japan's finance. Let's read this. This is always good. Japan's finance minister has urged Japanese investors to remain calm, which usually has the opposite effect. The Japanese Nikkei, if you're familiar with the Japanese stock market, the Japanese Nikkei fell 12.4% overnight. So that's huge for a whole stock exchange to fall 12.4%. That is huge. That is a huge fall and the biggest one-day loss since Black Monday of 1987. So that's the biggest loss in the Japanese stock market, the Nikkei, since 1987, which is The Black Monday, if you guys remember Black Monday back then, 1987, man, that was real. Japan's stock market losses were linked to the dramatic rally in the yen against the dollar. So there was a big rally in the forex trading market of the yen against the U.S. dollar, and that is very important because of the yen being one of the stronger currencies in the world, and the U.S. dollar being, I guess, the world reserve currency. And you get a rally against it, so kind of did the opposite, had the opposite effect on their stock market, unfortunately. So Japan's having trouble. European markets are having trouble. The United States market are having trouble. It's a lot of trouble globally, and this is the time where you want to hold. If you have money to buy more, it's a good time. We're not financial investors or giving financial advice, but you see, if you go on, there's a list. If you check out Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, and you can see where he invests, and you can see he took a large portion of his Apple investment and turned it into cash. And so then on his balance sheet, he has a lot more cash. I believe $2.66 billion in cash sitting on the sidelines. So that means he's getting ready to make a move. He has all that cash on the sidelines. He's getting ready to buy up, some more stock. So he's just looking. When I say he, his team is just looking to see what stocks and what investments are best to buy. What do you think about Warren Buffett sitting on the sideline with all that cash?
It will cause a lot of people to panic though.
Because he has cash.
And he didn't do anything with it.
Sitting on it.
He hasn't executed whatever he's going to do yet.
Is it going to cause people to follow him? Like, well, let me see what he does, and then I'll do something.
And that in itself is going to cause a new problem.
No, being
if everybody's selling,
yeah,
it's going to be chaotic on the market.
Because
I'm sure the fear indicator, I haven't looked at it.
No, I missed it this
morning.
morning.
I'm sure the fear indicator is probably high.
Yeah. Oh God, it's got to be way up in the red.
But it would cause other investors to panic. Like you said, maybe they follow suit. But if they do follow suit, that in itself adds to the chaos.
So that's when you say follow suit. So now you got people following big money.
But it's the indecisive part that's troubling. What did you take that money out to do? And I feel like you don't know what to do with it.
I feel like
that's why you're sitting on the sideline.
Reposition himself, and either you could reposition yourself in Apple, to be honest, or if you see some other areas you want to reposition yourself.
But maybe again, like at this moment, you don't know what that is.
Yeah. So that's why I said
the indecision of it is.
Yeah, it's scary or something.
It to investors like him, yeah.
Okay. Old school
right? Because
investors.
they're not, they're old school and they're not like, oh, we're gonna buy the dip for Bitcoin. Oh, that's not what they're doing.
Nah, he's gonna
and if you're sitting on over $2 billion on the sideline, get a couple $100 million, but I mean, I'm sure the fear indicator is high.
Okay.
Y'all may be in the chat. Should just Google it right now to see what the fear indicator look like, but I bet you it's high.
Yeah, it has to be after after Friday. Is there anything in the chat? I'm sorry.
I can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay. It's a weird.
That freedom ring.
It's a weird chat. It's showing up weird on our thing.
That's Tommy.
Tommy.
He said, glad to see us.
What's up, Tommy, man? We're glad to hear from you. Glad to have you.
BK Crypto talks about Buffett selling the Apple stock and let Freedom Ring say hello.
Oh, he talked about it too. Yeah, that was a little story I caught on the side. It just caught my eye. I said, oh, he sold some Apple stock. And that's a big thing. Somebody selling off a FANG stock. It's a big thing. I would I'd double check and see about the rest of them, and also Tesla because that's always big, especially with some of these investment companies who hold Tesla.
The other thing is, if you see these big corporations panicking, what does it look like for Joe Bag of Donuts?
See, that's a good question. Joe Bag of Donuts might just have a job and maybe he has a Fidelity account, but he just has Fidelity managing it, and it may be okay. It may be okay, especially if he's diversified in a certain way. He can call his broker and see how his retirement account is doing. But if you just putting it in through work, you just keep going to work and keep putting it in. That's all you can do.
So what about Joe Bag of Donuts who don't have no investments? And don't have a savings?
This don't matter to him because he don't have nothing. I mean,
But residually it will at a certain point.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's gonna be a hard. He's gonna really feel it,
but this is the economic winter we were talking about. Like right now, you're starting to see a little bit of the snowflakes fluttering to the earth.
And they had called for it. People like Robert Kiyosaki had called for this this crash. Other people called for it. You guys know that. And we just didn't know. And this is the crash. Some people say, man, it's just the beginning. I hope not, but could be.
Cousin Jay said, if you listen to Buffett or taking his advice, you're lost. And it's not about listening to him or taking his advice, but watching what he's doing is an indicator, right? Doesn't mean you're going to follow suit to do what he's doing, but the fact that he did what he did is a huge market indicator, right? So, like I said, it's like if you go outside in this wintertime, you can feel like, oh, that breeze is chillier than it was this morning.
Yeah.
Or, ooh, the sky is darker than it was a couple of hours ago, right? Oh, I'm starting to see some flutters of snowflakes. They're melting.
Yeah.
Right as they hit the earth. We're just talking about indicators.
Yeah, because
and flags.
A huge thing would be what if he took a lot of that money and bought some gold? Then you would be like, oh,
there's something going
what's
on
that?
In the market.
Yeah, what's that move?
It's just an indicator.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, what's that move? Just like because he's so open with his moves, you have people like that. You can kind of look at, okay, you made that move, just like you could look at BlackRock and see what they're doing.
Right, they're just indicators.
Yeah, so.
Two, unfortunately, as an indicator, he does move the market. That indicator could trigger
2.6 trillion
other actions by other people, which will make the indicators more emphatic.
Yeah, and it can affect
so you. This isn't about following his advice or doing what he's doing. You're watching the hand writing on the wall. That's not your hand. That's not your language. That's not your writing. That's not what you would have wrote. But you still want to kind of be there to be like, let me see what's going on.
And so here's the good saying. We're going to go to keep on going. So Japan got crushed, but the yen is strong. So, they won in one way, they lost in another. You got a saying here, and I'll go ahead and read it. There's an old saying in the marketplace that during panicky times like now, if you can't sell what you want, you sell what you can. And that's what I was just saying about people using gold to cover margin losses. You might not be able to sell what you want to cover the margin loss. So you kind of go to what you can and settle that margin. And part of the reason the safe haven metals are not hold on, man.
Cousin Jake said, this isn't. I cannot read anything on this stupid phone.
Yes,
this is not a crash. This is not a crash. The market is up 25% from January. Bitcoin is up 40% from January and 100% from a year ago.
Yeah, this is and that's funny that you say that because Max Kaiser, shout out to Max Kaiser, went on Twitter and he said, to be honest, you need to take another 40% about this market. So in that regard, I do agree with you, Mr. Fever. But I will say, when we say crash, I guess we're using the word a little loosely. When we say crash, just people may see it as unexpected dip.
A downturn.
Yeah, that kind of caught you by the blind side, and a lot of people don't like it, especially big players. But they're going to move the market, and we're going to read how they move the market. So we have recent U.S. economic data highlighted by last Friday's downbeat monthly U.S. jobs report. Now, we talked about this before. The U.S. jobs report moves the market. So you always got to keep an eye, I think, on the jobs report. If you're a market watcher, right? So keep an eye on the jobs report because it moves the market. So recent jobs report has quickly ignited U.S. economic recession fears, not recession. U.S. Treasury yields have dropped, with the 10-year Treasury note as low as 3.745% and down around 1% since April. So you got to see that 10-year Treasury yield is down 1%. Now in our market, that's nothing. 1% is nothing. But in a 10-year Treasury yield, you do not like to see it moving 1% in either way in this small of a time frame. So they're saying since April, was that 5 months, 4 months, and you don't want to see it down 1%, especially the big money that is in the 10-year Treasury bill.
So cousin Jay said, I would need this format to stream on TikTok and Instagram. So the stream looks different than it usually does. Simon bought me a new phone.
Yeah, we was trying something
we were
different.
just test trying the phone.
Did it look crazy?
No, he said he likes it though.
Oh, do you? Okay, maybe we'll do a
But
phone.
he wants it on TikTok and Instagram. I don't know that I have a TikTok bridge on Restream, but I do have an Instagram live bridge.
Okay.
I'm not an Instagram host, so my Instagram has like 4 pictures on it. I have to figure that out, y'all, because I don't use Instagram. Well, I didn't like the.
Can we do TikTok from? We can try some stuff.
I don't know that I have a TikTok bridge.
Okay, so we would have to do TikTok with like another phone posted up, which I see a lot of people do. So it's done. It
might have a TikTok bridge.
It's doable. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that information. I guess we're just streaming on the basic ones right now, but we'll get around to it. Yes, indeed.
I gotta do this type of stuff for myself. Jake, you could just email me and I'll show you how to do the restream stuff. But this is on our phone, so if y'all like this better, it's a tighter
camera.
Yeah, the cameras. I have it on the panoramic right now instead of vertical.
Yeah, it's tight. I like it though. It's cool. It's crispy, small.
No, I won't know until we look back at it.
It's small writing, but
and
look at this. Is this
chat? That's the chat.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, small writing. Okay, so I'm sorry, y'all. So we're talking about 10-year Treasury. It's down 1% since April, which is bad. That's a big movement in a Treasury bill. So that matters because that's big money in the 10-year bond. These are things we kind of see. The markets have quickly priced the chance of an emergency Federal Reserve rate cut over the next week at 60%. All right, that sounds crazy, but it could happen. Wharton's Jeremy Siegel, he said to CNBC today that the Fed needs to make an emergency 75 basis points rate cut this week, and did another 75 basis point rate cut in September at the FOMC meeting. That seems extreme. He might have just been talking. He got, a mic in front of his face. I could see an emergency 75.75% basis cut, but then another one in September. But who am I? Who am I? Who am I? These are very high-ranking economic individuals So they know what they're talking about, right?
My 90s reggae people should have gotten that.
Right? What's a $1.99? $1.99 USD.
Oh, cousin Will, but the gentleman get that super chat. But thank you. We don't get that super chat.
Okay. Thank you, but thank you for the sentiment. Thank you for the sentiment. Will.
It's all volunteer. All day, every day.
So
cousin Will sent us that because he probably hates this orientation.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm gonna send y'all some money to get a camera and a real setup because I don't like this.
This is a new camera. This camera is better than the other one, I believe, is what he's saying.
It's on the phone.
But it's cool how many people they shoot movies on iPhones, right?
This isn't an iPhone.
It's close.
It's a Samsung.
It's close. It's got.
And Samsung does provide the phone for Apple. Yes.
The camera, right? All right, I love it.
But
so at Reason Baron headline today.
Jay told you go ahead, talk that money.
Okay. Recession odds climbed to 25% after a weak jobs number. See, guys, these jobs numbers matter. So you got to keep an eye on them if you are a market watcher. All right. You want to see small fluctuations in the market, keep an eye on the jobs number.
So they be flubbing a number already.
They flubbing it, but if you see the number, because what they do is they give a projection of the number, and then they come out with the real number. And when they miss the projection,
but it's not even a projection. They be flubbing the numbers to make it look good. And then that's why the actual is always less and the actual report is always worse because y'all was flubbing it to begin with.
Yeah, so
to give optimism in the jobs market when that's not true.
And if they miss the number, it depends. Sometimes they can miss it, by a little bit. Is because usually the jobs number is up in the 180,000s. And so if they say, oh, okay, we think it's going to be 185,000, and the real number comes in at 182, not a bad miss. Not a bad miss. Won't move the market too much. But if it comes in 165, that's a bad miss. We're talking about moving the market. So the jobs number is very important. And so, this is just all bad news. Goldman Sachs says a Wall Street Journal article is headline, Fed faces renewed threat of hard economic landing. So do you guys remember we talked about a soft landing? And
no, that show is too far back.
Too far back. Okay. Well, here we go. We're talking about
was all mad about it.
Yeah, so here we go. Here's the hard landing. And
shout out to Andy Shuckman. He was so tight about this. He was like, what the hell kind of shit is that? I don't think I ever heard Andy curse before.
I use Mike Maloney, so don't get
mad.
Got
me. So he was cussing. I said, Andy, I ain't never heard you cuss before.
Yeah, so friend of the show, Andy Shuckman.
He was tight.
Was talking about a hard landing. So here we go. Is this the hard landing?
And one of his counterparts was proposing a soft landing, or at least positing a soft landing, right? So it was just like, speculation, what if, and like none of that.
He did not.
Oh, okay. Cousin Will says it's an awesome setup today, but we usually watch this show on big TV. Oh, is it because of the laptop, or are we going to be using this phone from now on? Because we both got like 40-year-old eyes. I need to get some glasses.
The chat is so small.
And like when I try to move the chat, y'all can see when the chat gets covered because it thinks that I want to hide it. I have to get used to it.
Yeah, that's cool. So the phone is sweet. Cool. So we got worries about the broader Middle East wars are also weighing.
But that's what I'm saying.
On traders and investors.
On Friday, was it Friday? Iran on Friday threatened to blow Israel off the map. I'm not laughing at that. I mean, because that is quote, end quote, what they said, which is probably a horrifying thought, considering that I think that they can accomplish it. The Bible says, not yet, right? That's what the Bible said. The Bible said, not yet.
There's somewhere written in here that they also assassinated some of their high-ranking officials.
Yes, right. I was going to get to that.
So that's problematic.
People who shouldn't have gotten touched got killed.
That's problematic.
They should have been inaccessible, untouched. They should have been in a undisclosed location, not unconfirmed, T.I.
It happens.
An undisclosed location, and they got.
happens.
So that's why I was trying to figure out, did that start the spiraling of the crash?
I don't know if
or are they using it as fodder? Is it fodder? Fodder, Fodder. Okay, somebody's talking, and I can't really see it.
There we go. Stay active, though. Stay active in the chat room.
Okay, Cousin Price Cobbs. I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you so much for joining us. Soft landing only occurred 2 times out of the previous 10 interest rate adjustments. Cousin Price, let me tell you, when I asked about that soft landing, Andy Sheckman nearly shit an entire brick of gold.
He was mad.
He was tight.
He was mad. Why you asking me that?
That's ridiculous. Cousin Price being kind by saying it only happened twice.
There you go.
This may or may not be a soft landing. This ain't gonna be no soft landing. This is gonna feel like you fell out of the plane and landed on your coccyx. For those of you look that up and see how painful that type of fall is.
So they said Israel, after Israel last week assassinated key military officials from Hamas and Hezbollah. That's
Hezbollah.
Hezbollah.
And that's why Iran said they're gonna blow them off because those people shouldn't have been able to be touched. They shouldn't have been so easily accessible that more than one got touched. If you start looking at the politics of it. I mean, that would be almost equivalent to like our Secretary of State, our treasurer, our just boom, 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 gone. Like, how did you access them?
I don't know. They almost assassinated the presidential candidate.
I don't know.
They almost got
him. How many of y'all think that was for real?
They almost got
him. How many of y'all, hit us up in the chat, how many of y'all think that the presidential, the attempt on ex-president Donald Trump was for real? How many of you feel like it was staged? And how many of you feel like it was real to the extent that they helped him to kind of get it done? It was just sloppy and didn't get done properly.
I don't even know what that means. That's like Trump was in on it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like it was staged. So that would be option 2.
So
option 1 is that shit was for real.
So if you was Donald Trump, you trust somebody to miss.
Yes.
You trust the sniper to miss.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking like studio props and shit, the sound, the making the thing whiz. Like they do that on Hollywood.
But you don't say that. Can you shoot this bullet and miss my head?
When President Trump went down, his ear wasn't bleeding. It wasn't bleeding till it came up. People show you that.
I never seen that part.
They show you. Some of y'all who watched it.
I've been watching.
Where my military people at? I used to be a weapons trainer. And I'm going to tell you right now, as a weapons trainer or someone who used a weapon for a significant amount of time, I don't care how long ago it was, for how long you did it, there's certain things when you zero in on someone who holds or brandishes a weapon, there's like a stance that you can tell this is what you do and you can tell this is not what you do. Okay. That's why we laugh when we watch them little gangster shows on BET, them little BC movies, and they be holding a gun like this and shooting. That's why y'all, all these straight bullets kill these kids, because you don't know how to stabilize your weapon.
Well, they said,
right, when we watch it, we have all of these, you can't do this and you can't do that. Even when we watch movies with snipers and stuff, as much as they try to get it right, military personnel who do this shit for real can always find those little loops, like, that wasn't right, the angle was wrong, there was too much of a reflection for him to be able to hit her that far.
They said that this, correct me if I'm wrong, military people, they said he had an open stance and no sight when he took the shot.
Okay, hold that thought.
Yeah.
The Secret Service personnel is who I'm looking at. There was a particular woman, she was probably in her mid-50s, Caucasian woman, did not know how to put her weapon,
holster her weapon
properly.
Yeah.
She didn't know how to hold the weapon properly. The way she was holding it, she would have accidentally, recklessly discharged it. That's one.
Well, she was over
if it was a real weapon, one. 2, she didn't know how to holster her weapon properly, and she finally kind of gave up on it.
But I'm talking about up top, the counter snipers, as they say they.
Simon, but we only know what they told us. We wasn't there. We didn't get to see it.
What else can we?
Who's giving out the report?
Who else?
We know that the media lies to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from Sunday through Sunday. They tell the people what they want the people to hear. I'm telling you, watching the video that happened live, I seen a lot of discrepancies that made me be like, this was a poorly put Hollywood stunt to me.
Who did it then? For what game would you say?
That man got up off the podium going USA, blood all over his face. People talk about ketchup packets.
Well, that makes
USA. I guess USA.
I guess that makes him a real American. You had some people who had
your 78-year-old president got shot in the air, was able to get up and fist pump. Then
I could barely.
The next day, 24 hours later, he was coming out on red carpet to many men wish death upon me. Him and 50 friends for real. So that was hilarious. The only thing he was missing was 50 actually doing it, walking down the red carpet like a boxer. That when boxers used to have the actual artists come out with them.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome.
Pulled that off. And there were some people in the chat talking. They had some long, if you wanted to.
Oh boy! All right, they talking to me about the because we sitting here talking about it.
My bad. I was on the blow up Monday. I still got more stuff, man. Yeah.
Okay, so we got some mixed reviews, right?
It was a mess today, but
so Cousin Will say he thinks that they let it happen. I'm not trying to hide your messages. I'm trying to read them, so ignore that when they get covered up. Let Freedom Marine say he thinks it was option 3. It was a sloppy attempt. Right?
Sloppy attempt, huh?
Cousin Price said, I think it's a real attempt. The perpetrator fit the profile. But of course, if you were going to fake it, just like you would do, like the Mentalist or NCIS, or you want to have that profile for real.
It's a deep fake.
Right? It's a deep fake. This guy was not a trained assassin, but used by the power. That's what I want to know. Do y'all think like that number 3, that it was like, let's make stuff sloppy because he may actually be able to get them?
So
right where it was real, but it was an inside job.
So you probably could have hired a better
you talent. Hired a crisis actor in the military. No, we used to kind of let bad things happen. Cousin Will, I never let anything bad happen. If I got your 6, I got your 6. That's so funny. He said in the military we kind of let bad things happen. That's just hilarious. That's where friendly fire come from, right?
Yeah, so
but they're supposed to be Secret Service, so they're even higher than any type of military. What do I want to call them? Like military party?
No, not.
They would be highly specialized military party.
No.
The Secret Service.
Secret Service are well trained, but they're not high like SEALs or Delta.
Okay, so let me ask this, right? But the Delta Force is the Delta Force. The SEALs are the SEALs. I'm not trained, not a trained SEAL, no. But let me ask this, y'all, then, because y'all may know the answer to this. So, do ex-presidents kind of get like? Let me say this nicely. Do y'all kind of get like the dirtbag airman Secret Service because you were ex-president and the chances of you being assassinated is low, but the current sitting president get the top tier?
No.
Do the ex-presidents get like, what did we used to call them? We used to call them career airmen and career stars.
No, they get top tier.
Even the old ones. So you're telling me that Jimmy Carter has the same level of presidency, the same level of security, Secret Service wise, as the current sitting president, Joe Biden?
No, I'm saying Donald Trump does because he's running again. So he has top tier.
Because he's running again.
Yeah, he got top tier.
So how did that happen?
That's what cats is losing positions, getting fired. I mean, you see the director had to resign. So like people got to get people had to keep it moving. And that internally you'll never hear about the person who was a counter sniper up there who got demoted. Because, hey, how'd you let this happen?
We should know his name.
6 counter snipers, I believe he said.
And they all got fired?
No, but they're going to get demoted.
It's gonna be a comment in their jacket for sure.
Yeah, and it's something that we'll never hear about. It's quiet. It's secret service.
Going on a red piece of paper in your PIF.
So then now when you try to promote,
or if you try to get a certain contract or job or something.
Like even afterwards, if you try to start working for like Blackwater or some private government organization, and they see you as part of that.
But fiasco, you never know. Depending on who you're trying to get the job with, you might get the job because.
Nah, they see you as part of that fiasco. They're like, no.
No, they might think you was a part of the fiasco. Maybe we do hire you because kudos to you. Maybe. I would have been upset though if they would have taken him out. I don't want to see harm come to anybody. I know it's crazy, but is it crazy to say that Trump is the actual, like, what's the word I want to use? I want to use the term like a real one.
Yeah.
Like he's not a super great person, maybe morally or ethically, but he's realer than who they be trying to parade as the moral, ethical, right? Your left wing crazies. I feel like, and I ain't Democrat or Republican. I'm not neither. I know it's hard for me to read it.
The direct what?
That's what I'm saying. You can't read it.
Why does it say high density all the time?
I don't know why that won't go away. So it says the director or the Secret Service was incompetent.
Oh yeah, she was. You seen her?
She was the DEI. She resigned.
Yeah, she was talking to Congress. She had no answers. Okay. She had 0 answers. Somebody asked her, how long did you prepare for this? She didn't even know how long she prepared.
So cousin OG something radio wants to know where Zay and King at. That's a good question. We looking for Zay.
We looking for him too.
We don't know where they at.
Keep looking for them because we looking for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they been at, man? They've been gone for about a month.
We used to talk to Zay once or twice a month, every single month, right? We used to have a mentoring session or whatever. But when his book was due to come out, we kind of would be easy on it so he can kind of get the promo and all of this stuff for his book out. And then we don't know where they at.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know. It's July, it's August. Maybe they're on summer vacation. Y'all know they got families and stuff, but I don't know where they at. Cousin Price said no, Trump's still a confidence man. As crazy as it is, I agree with that, but I still think he's more honest and truthful than the current sitting party. Let's leave it at that.
So I have a question.
Right? Trump got 50 Cent. Kamala got Megan. This is going to be a bread and circus like we've never seen before.
I was going to try to get back to this, but I do have one question. I just want to know for this situation. Half of the country is upset that he didn't actually get killed. What does that say about
the country, though? God.
The country's unity.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, none of these presidents really ain't. But I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want to watch his head get blown off on national TV.
Understand, if the country had unity, they wouldn't want to see
any president,
a possible leader of your nation, be killed. Not a country with unity.
As a human being, you wouldn't want to see anybody killed.
But they're so want their side to win that if it takes that.
See, that's trifling.
Yeah, but that's what.
And it makes me want you to relook at the things that you hold near and dear. Don't nobody want to watch anybody get their effing head blown off on national television in front of children.
It's like when you grew up.
There were children at that rally.
When you were living in your city and there were 2 people running for mayor, like you weren't.
Somebody said King's been off for a couple of months. Maybe he got a gig in Hollywood. I hope he did. That's Cousin Price.
Tell us, man. Let us know.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know if they're off for the holiday. Maybe King got a gig.
But where's King? Where's that? Where's they at?
Right, his book was supposed to come out in June.
Yeah, June. So he said he wanted to come out for Juneteenth.
And
we were gonna
I've been
promote
looking
it,
for him since because people have been asking me questions about the.
But he's off Twitter. Like he hasn't posted on Twitter since May.
Yeah, they may be cooking up something good.
Okay, so
they'll be back, y'all, and we'll find out.
It's just us and cousin Rue.
Just us and
Shout out to Rue.
Ruel Black, y'all check his show out.
Yeah, check out Ruel Black, man.
He's the Gematria King.
Yeah, that's the homie, man. He keep it real. So.
And we were off for a couple weeks too.
Yeah, so
because somebody thought he was gonna leave me here by myself with these 4 children.
Nah, they took me down, man. I had an illness. They tried to take me out, but I'm pretty strong, so I fought back. And I'm
really need to take some time off because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, she's exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
I
still went to work. I still took people to work. Kids did basketball. Yeah. And now that he's doing better, I'm tired. And I know y'all can see how tired I am in my face. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, she's tired. We try to do things. I got a couple more clips, man, if you guys are willing to listen. It's boring, man. Finance is boring. I swear to goodness, it's boring. It's been boring for ever since I can remember. So we got here in other news, the World Gold Council. Okay, this is the World Gold Council. These are some other people who meet regularly. Reported global mine production hit a record of 930 MT in the second quarter. MT being megatons, I'm sorry. Central banks were the new buyers, the net buyers in June 12th. Megatons. So central banks.
Said that they were going to be hoarding dollars. Y'all remember that?
So they're hoarding dollars and they're stacking up on gold. So that maybe that's hedging your bet for real. Maybe they're just seeing which way to go. Like he said earlier.
And we're not saying to follow their advice.
Yeah, and you sell what you can. Like if you can't sell what you want, you sell what you can.
But we're not saying to follow what they're doing or follow their advice, but you want to see what they're doing as an indicator.
And this is another indicator that people wouldn't know to follow. You would have to look up the World Gold Council, and then you would have to figure out when they met. And you could get the minutes from their meetings, and you could do all this stuff to see what's going on with the World Gold Council. But you would have to know that they're actually meeting. You would have to know that they actually existed, right? You have to know these things, but these are indicators because the World Gold Council, they're telling you that the net buyer was central banks. And I don't know who else is going to tell you that. They bought 12 megatons. So you do the math on that. That's a lot of gold, man. That's a lot of gold, y'all. 12 megatons. So so that's an indicator. That's an indicator. You got all kind of indicators outside of people like get stuck reading charts. Mm-hmm. And I say, man, it's good. You making a trade, boom, you doing your thing. You can see something out 6 and 9 months. You can see something out 5 years if you want. But man, you got to get out here and see what the world is doing, where the money is moving, and see where the investments are going. Is this where this is where big money's going now. They're moving their money from here to here. See, this is good. It's good. This is good. Even though it's boring, this is good to hear, you guys. All right, so what are we talking about? And also the key outside markets today see the US dollar index sharply lower and hitting a 4.5 month low against the NYMEX, crude oil. Prices are lower. They hit a 6 month low overnight and are trading around 72.25. This is boring. It's all boring. But you see oil's trading lower, gold's trading lower, silver, Bitcoin, everything's trading lower. What's trading higher? Even the dollar's trading lower against the yen. What's trading higher? Where are people going with their cash? Where you see almost nothing trading higher. Indicator when you look up Warren Buffett, 2.6 trillion on the sideline in cash because nothing's trading higher. It's not one thing. Things are supposed to be trading higher. When does gold, precious metals when are they both down?
And the dollar.
And the dollar. Like what? We ain't got we don't have nothing. We don't have no recourse. Everything's down. Everything's down. Well, you just got to go buy on sale, or you buy nothing. Looks like Warren Buffett is buying nothing. Um, so we got all kind of more reports. You want to do? You want to go over them? I mean, the bottom line is stuff is down. Stuff will be down for a while, and there's some charts you could look at. And even here, it's talking about September silver futures. Bears have overall near-term technical advantage, and then it's just numbers where it's talking about 2.5 month downtrend. The daily bar chart shows silver bull's next upside objective is closing prices above the technical resistance at 29.35. Technical resistance. Now we're back in the charts. Technical resistance for silver is 29.35 as technical resistance on this bar chart, and if can break that, then maybe you could flip resistance into support. And this is what it kind of zoom in because you zoom because you focused on silver, you can kind of zoom in on the chart again. But like I said, you zoom out just on the news that's going on around the world. Some of the stuff we wouldn't know. I wouldn't have known that important leaders got assassinated if I didn't start reading out about this and that. I wouldn't have known that oil was down barrel price because I'm not an oil investor, never was. But
you would have known about Hezbollah, Hamas.
It might have came across it.
Big news. I caught that before I caught the crash.
And some of these numbers I wouldn't have known about the 10-year Treasury bond being down 1% since April. That's not information you get readily. So you got to get in here, dig it out, pause, and then you find out some things. And this is just information that it doesn't mean you're going to change the way you invest. Still going to go ahead and dollar cost average and grab silver because it's the best thing to do. But you could just see how the price can be down a little bit, how they're pushing it down. I haven't even went in to see why silver's down as far as the contracts and see what kind of contracts are being put out. I did see just here that the silver futures for September don't look good, but you can go in there and start looking at that. It's all kind of stuff you can look at. It's all kind of stuff you can look at to figure out what's going on. If you want to trade, change your trading style, change up what you're doing. What you think? No change, or we just keep going the same way? Bang, bang.
Oh, we've done this now. We just stop keep going.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Especially in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's gonna bounce.
Oh yeah, that's gonna bounce. Certain things are gonna bounce. Crude oil is gonna bounce. I mean, precious metals. This stuff's gonna bounce because it has to. I'm worried about the dollar because the dollar is getting a little volatile, and it never was. So now it's like even us down here in Mexico, we're having some volatility against the peso. Like we just seen bang, bang in our favor, thankfully. But I don't want it to reverse and go against us. I didn't check it today because it's struggling against the yen. I said, well, it may have bounced back. It fell back a little bit.
It's 1920.
Yeah, Jan. Oh, is that good? I don't see no numbers up here on this one.
No, the dollar is.
Oh, 1920. Okay, 58 minutes. Yeah, so you don't know what the dollar's gonna do right now. You forex traders, man, chime in if you got any insight or you think you have some projection of what the dollar may do. I would be interested to hear that. Just like they said in Japan, they're having a liquidity problem, and when there's low liquidity, that's always a problem. Everybody's holding on to their the asset that they had, and it's not moving. Right? It's just like the people back in what year was it? 2020. 2020 when they were giving out the stimulus checks,
Okay, the helicopter money.
the helicopter money, and they were giving out the loans and stuff. People were apparently hoarding it when you went to the money circulation chart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that hurt the economy. It's like, hey, put that money back into circulation, and then the economy works better. But people were hoarding it, like, oh, we got some money. Boom. A lot of people took the 1,200, bought the Bitcoin, and made a lot of money, but they were hoarding the money, and it hurt the liquidity of the country and the economy. So liquidity is
The national debt.
oh wow. Yeah, the liquidity is a big deal. If there's no liquidity over there in the Asian markets, it didn't say anything about liquidity in Europe or anywhere else. Unfortunately, I got a whole breakdown of Latin America, but I won't bore you to tears with that one because it's not as, I don't want to say important. It just doesn't have an impact on the world economy like the Asian markets, like the European market. It does have smaller players coming up that people better keep an eye on, right? Argentina is starting to come around and come about. So we got to keep an eye on Argentina because it's a large economy, and they're really trying to get Brazil because Brazil is one of the top 10 largest economies in the world. So they want to get Brazil on board with Bitcoin and taking as legal tender and taking it as payments. And then, this is just really game theory on a small country. It's starting to knock down the big dogs. The big dog. They're having a back and forth. President Bukele with Venezuela. They want that President Nicolas Maduro. They want him out. Seems like he's been rigging elections and all this stuff. He ran the country into the ground. He ran the economy into the ground. So he wants him out before El Salvador will do business with Venezuela. Because Venezuela, even though it is, what would you say, down and out, I guess, because of that economy and all that, it still was seen as now probably a frontier market. Mm-hmm. Where if you can get in early on Venezuela, right, they got a lot of natural resources, and so if you can get in early now, get your places. Say you want to get your buildings, your property. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of beachfront property that is very valuable, and if you can get in there and get that, they have beautiful cities. So this is a time that you can actually, people with money can make money from Venezuela. You just need the right leadership. And if you get the right leadership and they connect maybe with El Salvador, then boom, you can get Venezuela. Venezuela was a very prosperous and country in the 90s, if you guys remember, with the president Hugo Chavez, and then he just died suddenly at the age of 58. And Aaron says, what that means. I say, I don't know. He was pushing back against America and stuff like that, man. You guys let me know about Hugo Chavez. And then Venezuela has been on the downturn ever since. Yeah, okay, well, see, she thinks they unalived him. Let me try to get that one in. And it's a couple of people. Just a couple of people.
Cousin Jake said this is the first anniversary of the brawl at Montgomery with the chairs. Okay. With the folding chairs.
Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Folding chairs. You guys are crazy, man. So that's what I had. That was just a short rundown on where does all the money go follow. Oh, so you saying where does the money go or who do we follow? I'll answer it as a bit both. Where does the money go? That's a good question. That's why we follow it. Some of the money goes to, like you just seen, central banks. It'll go to gold reserves. Some of the money will go to, like I talked about a little bit earlier, those Treasury Reserve bonds, 10 year, sometimes 20, 30 year, and you get that yield. So your money is protected for that amount of time. So if you got some money sitting in a 10 year, that's why it's a big deal that it's down for 1%, because it's not supposed to move like that. So you got your money locked up for 10 years in a T 10-year Treasury year bond. And that's where a lot of people take their money. When I say people, I should say large corporations will put their treasury reserves in there. Is that it? Am I saying that right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. A lot of money is locked up in BlackRock, ARC, what else? Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, places like that. Charles Schwab is locked up in there. If you look, I believe BlackRock has 51 billion under management, assets under management. So you got a lot locked up there in places like BlackRock. And so this is where the money goes. If you see a lot of money going towards BlackRock, you can follow that money. And I think
right, you're using it as indicators.
Yeah, I just seen that BlackRock had 21 million under ETF, the Bitcoin ETF. They had 21 million in assets under their Bitcoin ETF, and it's the fastest growing ETF in the history of ETFs. So it's a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin ETFs, which is managed by Fidelity and who else? Who else manages it? Morgan Stanley. And so you see money, Charles Schwab, you see money flowing that way. So you will see money flowing in diverse ways. And you just keep an eye, but a good place to know, or a good way to know, is where money is not flowing. Right? That's the thing. Money's flowing all these places, so you know in your mind money's not flowing in this place or that place. So it's hard for you to get your money sometimes going where their money's going. But if you can and you feel comfortable, yes, get your money going where you see their money going. And I forget what the second question was. Where does it go? And follow the money. Where does it go? And follow the money. Yes, follow the money. Follow what people are buying. Be aware of what people are selling. It's a lot of stuff. If you want to be like a nerd about this stuff, man, it's a lot of things you could go look up, like charts, because they give you, like they have to put this stuff out in charts and reports, either or, and you can follow everything that everybody is doing, where people act like, oh my goodness, I didn't know they were doing that. And it's like, nah, man, they didn't put reports out. They have quarterly, what do you call them? I guess, but like a large Fortune 500 company has to have quarterly projections and let you know what the CEO sold, how many, I mean, they let you know, they have to. So you could be a nerd about it and really jump on this stuff and, be in all these reports and charts and see what everybody's doing. If you have the time. Most people don't have the time. That's why people have their money under management. And then in these days, and
I think too, if they don't have the bandwidth. So if you're a Warren Buffett, right? And I know that that's your job. But at his age, you don't have the bandwidth to do that. No. The focus, the bandwidth, the temperament, the patience. But when we're talking about CEOs, like I guess, okay, Elon.
Michael Saylor?
Michael Saylor is actually selling more shares to buy more Bitcoin. So it kind of go along into sell what you can to, buy the dip or whatever, right? Like, money ain't flowing like that. I had to sell some shit.
Yeah.
So he's selling. I can't remember how many shares, but it's a lot.
Yeah, he got.
I think it was like. I think it was over 200 shares, 2,000. It might even shit. I don't know, but
That's
it's
smart.
a big, gigantic. Yeah. You guys should find that on any search. I just looked at it because I was looking at some other stuff.
And so that's great.
But I was just saying, like the CEOs of these countries, your Elon Musk, even your Jack Dorsey's, they don't have the bank. Like if that's what you were going to do, that's what you do.
I think to get past it, right? You can hire these minds from MIT and
because they're focused on it, but you don't have the bandwidth to run a company and manage such a vast amount.
Yeah. Get past that. My job is to run the company. Your job is to keep an eye on this investment, right? So, and I pay you a lot of money to do it. So you better get it done. And I'm sure they do. They hire the best and the brightest. Like I said, they're hiring astrophysicists from Oxford and MIT just to build quant robots on Wall Street. Right? These guys went to school to be astrophysicists, but they came waving some money at you and they say, "Can you come build us some robots?"
Right.
And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And so now these guys build quant robots. You should look it up. They talk about it. They interview some of these astrophysicists who are now called quant something, not analyst, but quant. I forget the exact title, but yeah, I mean that's not what they went to school to do. But when they come recruiting and they come with that paper, like, "Hey man, come on down here. You're gonna go work at a college for $50,000, $60,000. We're gonna pay you."
Yeah.
And some people start looking at the student loans. They got families. You've been in school for the last 8, 10 years. It'd be nice to finally, get broken off. So they'll go the Wall Street way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and so Wall Street, that's why I say, man, when you're trying to day trade against Wall Street, these guys are building bots and then they got black boxes on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. You over here. That's why they laugh at the people who make day trades with Robinhood. No disrespect, y'all. I love Robinhood. I still love Robinhood. And they say, "Man, you think you gonna get front run on all your trades?" Robinhood said that they're allowed to give you information before the trade. Like you just know you're getting front run. It's cool, man. If you don't need that on the fifth decimal, if you don't need that number right there, if you could just need to make this trade, you made your money. But yeah. So not the greatest Monday, but
it's not a Black Monday either.
Nice. Yeah, so we're holding on. We're still investing.
Why everything that's bad gotta be black?
I know. So we're holding on. We're investing. We're not getting discouraged. This is one of those times where, like I said earlier, when you're trying to bring in new people, they get discouraged. They might, cuss at you like, "Man, you told me to buy this, now drop." This is a time where we kind of rally and talk to each other. I seen shout out to Bitcoin Chris, man. He had some dope charts on Twitter this week. And so that's us talking to each other. He put out that chart, he put in the work, to put that chart together and then put it out on a Twitter feed, so that the rest of the Bitcoiners could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, shout out to him for doing that. He didn't have to do that. Because it was a lot of work. I could tell. I know how putting charts together can be, and so it was some work.
I think he does that though. So it's difficult. I mean, he do that.
Probably easier for him.
Together, boom,
but
boom, boom.
It looked nice. It was very informative, and I like to see Bitcoin Chris. And I need to holler at Bitcoin Chris, man. We had him on the show. We chopped through some game, but I know he's a busy man. He got music and everything popping off. He said I could get some bars in, but he ain't never get back to me, man. I think he just said, Bitcoin Chris. I still got a few bars. I got at least 8. Give me 8.
Saying me and Sean gonna start a mom-son rap battle. They got this, y'all probably seen it from my hip hop heads. This dude, he be battling his grandmother. She's actually pretty good. That's the funny part. I'm talking about like the real battles, like the one with Loaded Bugs, like how they,
oh man, they be hitting.
You know how emphatic they get.
But they be saying stuff that hit your soul, it touch your soul.
Yeah, that's why the grandmother, and the grandson is so funny. It is hilarious, and she is really, really good. She gotta be like almost 60. She's really good. So me and Sean said we gonna start one.
Nah, they gonna start saying stuff that touch your soul.
That's how I put his ass right on the damn porch. Especially if we start talking about his.
What we got going on over here, bro?
What you about to cut open?
Hey, you got
Punky, let me see what it's from. Oh, okay, brother, something.
Yeah, I had bought it from around.
Say hi to the people.
Yeah, then we got the.
I wanted to show you the jersey and stuff I had got.
Let the young lion. Oh, the young lion got.
Yeah, they came home from practice. This is basketball superstar. It's my superstar here. So they got new uniforms. So
can they see it?
Yeah, so that's nice, man. They got nice stuff.
He got a little crown on there. Say KRS-One. Do it say KRS-One? It just say KRS, but it looked like a one.
Knowledge reigns supreme over everything. So see how everything. You see how the kids are very happy, man. So let me shut this down. And guys, man.
So Mexican, y'all. This is so Mexican. I like the black.
We gotta stay fortified with
and
this.
Look, he gets to be number 23.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He be copying his daddy.
He's a hoop star. He's a hoop star, man.
He's number 23. I have a poster of him posterizing.
He's being recruited by international teams.
They know that. We already told you.
So,
but his knowledge reigns supreme over nearly
everyone, man.
For my KRS-One fans, that's the 80s.
So let's read these last.
Where my for real? Let go, cause your fingers in the way.
Too big.
He said it's your fingers too big. Very good info, Gordon. Y'all crack me up at how y'all call him Gordon, and I don't even call him Gordon. It was Grizz, wasn't it? Who used to call him Gordon? Everybody call him Gordon now. They be like, "How Gordon doing?"
Thank you, guys. Thank you for that, man. It's very boring information. I felt like I had to bring it to you, just because I know you guys are busy, but I have free time to try to grab this information. So I can grab it. So thank you guys for having us tonight. Where you get that from?
He ate the last cutie.
No, he ate the last cutie.
So let's get out of here. Go say bye here. And we'll be out of here.
These kids ate up our fruit that I bought to make gas juice.
Yeah, they bought it.
That's the young one saying goodbye.
But thank you very much.
Y'all see how wild it is in this house, and y'all want to know why I'm exhausted.
Yeah, she's tired. She's gonna lay down. I'm gonna go sit in the corner and be quiet.
Are you wearing a Knicks jacket?
I bought that for him, man.
You bought that for me.
He's wearing it because you won't wear it. You won't.
But he got shorts that match and everything.
You wear it. You gonna be.
Your favorite team is the Knicks.
Okay, y'all. We're gonna look to try to get back.
I don't know how to exit the stream though.
It says end.
Okay, hit that then.
It's we're gonna try to get back Wednesday or Friday. Let us see how the news cycle runs.
Let us see how Erin's energy cycle runs.
See how she runs. I think I'm okay.
We got up at 3:30 this morning, and neither one of us are fit for that type of get up.
And so let us see.
Look at you got an 8-pack.
But if something comes up that's time sensitive, we'll try to pop in.
Right, like if it's an off day, we'll do our best.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Strike some deodorant.
If you like Erin says, if you want to talk to us, just email us or something like that.
We'll love the show. Follow the extra banter too. The young lion look great. Wait, let me just do the camera real quick. The young lion look real good in his. He's always at, and y'all, I paid hell money for these damn uniforms.
They gonna wear it every day until the member come.
He is gonna wear it every day. Y'all ever watch them TV shows on Nickelodeon and like Disney Channel when they go to school? They wear their sports uniforms all day long. And I said, what school did y'all do at?
The Jocks.
Yeah, the Jocks wear their school. Y'all wait. We did not in Malvern, only on Fridays. They came.
We had sweatsuits that had our name on it.
Aiden and Willie and all of them and Jeffrey. They used to wear their ties and dress shirts every Friday.
No,
that was the game.
Game day, but you wear your sweatsuit during the week. Got your name on it.
No, nobody did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see these drill rappers getting shot at school. Do you see anybody wearing no basketball outfit? You think King Von was wearing a basketball outfit?
Nah, but I know.
He was in high school.
Nah, but I know LeBron. I know Bronny James wore his basketball.
That's different. He went to Sierra. What's it called? Sierra Leone.
Sierra Canyon.
Sierra Canyon. All right, y'all. We love y'all. Y'all listening.
Yeah, yeah. And if you, and sorry about the super chat. We don't get super chat. So if you feel like you want to give us a super chat, you got to check out our Cash App.
He's saying that because I sold a lot of the Bitcoins, not happy with it.
Yeah.
Our emergency stash Bitcoin. I didn't get to the deep wallets. Thank goodness.
So if you love me,
he mad. He want to build a coffers back up.
If you see me on Cash App, you know.
I put a whole paycheck in one of the coffers. He said that's not enough.
Right. So thank you, guys. Awesome show. Thank Will. I gotta get with you, man, when we come to San Antonio.
Shout out to Let Freedom Ring. I tell y'all every episode he's been with us since single digit episodes. We're almost at 200 episodes. Shout out to Cousin Will. Let me tell y'all something. When Simon was sick, Cousin Will was in my inbox every day. What can I do? What do you need? Do you need me to do something? And again, it's a cousin we've never met, just really extending himself as much as possible. And I really appreciated it. I feel good that I didn't need to like take you up on a lot of your offers, but I also felt good that you trusted us enough to offer a lot of the things you were trying to help with. So
thank you, sir.
Cousin Will, you up there definitely with Let Freedom Ring. I want to shout out L1L, Cousin Jake, always. I hope my Bitcoin baby is doing well. I hope she's getting lots of Bitcoin kisses. We're missing somebody. KW1. I don't know if you're watching the replays, but I miss you, Nicole. I want you to show up. Yes, I called you by your government. I want you to check in. There's other people. Courtney, Michelle, we want to thank y'all for coming on. Cousin Tommy,
did you say BK Crypto?
Dylan, that's the crew though. That's crew love right there. BK Crypto, NCB, Rashona, Kimberly, we love y'all so much.
We got to do another. We got to do another. What do you call it?
That's the street team.
Yeah, we got to do another.
Another meetup.
Because that was dope.
BK Crypto, that's the street team for sure.
That was dope. BK Crypto setting that up.
He said thanks for the flowers. Always. We love y'all so much.
You do.
Now we're sitting here watching a sport fashion show as the young lion.
Make sure it fit. You paid for it.
Shout out to Zoe who actually got the young lion. I've been calling Reggie the young lion. He's got to try on every single thing.
I gotta make sure it fit. You paid your money for it. I didn't, but
you knew it was gonna fit when he handed it to you. He want to show his.
But it gotta fit good though. They gotta make me look.
Y'all tell him to enjoy his 8-pack now.
You gotta make me look a certain type of way, you know?
He look like Tommy the Hitman Hearns.
He look like Tommy Hearns. He built like Tommy Hearns, y'all. So go check that out. In 1982, Tommy Hearns, when he fought Roberto Duran. That's how he looked right there.
Did I not pay for your jersey?
What'd you say?
No, you gotta pay for it.
What'd you say? About 6'1", 140, 142.
Oh, I think I weigh more than
Reggie do. Like Tommy,
even though he's almost 6 feet tall.
The hitman. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. We can talk for hours and hours. We love you.
Bye.
We'll get at y'all.
Kid shenanigans.